Hello, and welcome to Code Your English, the channel that helps you improve your English while learning something useful and interesting at the same time. I'm really happy that you are here with me today. My name is Jason, and in this podcast, I speak slowly and clearly, so that English learners like you can practice listening and speaking in a fun and easy way. On this podcast, we talk about many topics that help you not only learn English, but also learn new skills and ideas for your life. The goal is simple: help you build your English and your confidence, one episode at a time. So if you're learning English and want to grow your vocabulary, improve your listening, and also learn something useful for real life, then you are in the right place. Today's topic is something very small, but very powerful. It is called the 2-minute rule. Maybe you have heard about it before, or maybe it's new for you. Either way, don't worry. I will explain everything step by step. The 2-minute rule is a simple idea that can help you stop procrastinating. That word, procrastinating, means waiting too long to do something, or delaying a task because you don't feel like doing it right now. We all do it sometimes, maybe with cleaning, homework, writing, studying, or even replying to a message. But the good news is, the 2-minute rule can help. In this episode, you are going to learn what the 2-minute rule is and why it works so well. You will learn how it can help you start tasks more easily, feel less stress, and slowly build better habits in your daily life. I will also give you real examples to help you understand how to use it at home, at work, and even while learning English. And don't worry, everything will be explained in simple and clear language, so you can follow along easily. By the end of this episode, you will have 2 simple ways to use the 2-minute rule in your daily life. You will also understand how just 2 minutes can help you make real changes, little by little. So stay with me, and let's explore this powerful idea together. Are you ready? Great! Let's begin with the first part. What exactly is the 2-minute rule? What is the 2-minute rule? The 2-minute rule is a simple idea that helps you take action quickly. It is a small trick you can use to stop waiting and start doing things. The idea is this: if something takes less than 2 minutes to do, then do it right away. That's it. Sounds easy, right? That's because it is. And that's what makes it so powerful. You don't need a lot of time. You don't need a lot of energy. You just need 2 minutes, or even less. The second part of the 2-minute rule is also very interesting. It says, when you want to start a new habit, make the first step so easy that it takes only 2 minutes to do. For example, if you want to start reading more books, don't tell yourself, I have to read for 1 hour. That can feel like too much, and you might never start. Instead, just say, I will read 1 page. That takes less than 2 minutes. And once you start, something amazing happens. You often keep going. That's the secret. The hardest part is not doing the task. The hardest part is starting the task. And the 2-minute rule helps you start. Now, you may be wondering, where does this idea come from? The 2-minute rule became popular because of a man named James Clear. He is the author of a very famous book called Atomic Habits. In this book, he talks about how to build good habits and break bad ones. His main message is that small changes can lead to big results over time. He says that habits are not about doing big things one time. They are about doing small things again and again until they become part of your everyday life. James Clear writes that when a habit is too big, we don't start it. We wait. We feel tired. We say, I'll do it later. But if we make the habit very small, just 2 minutes, then we feel ready to begin. Once we begin, it becomes easier to continue. So the 2-minute rule is not just about doing a small task, it's also a smart way to build a new habit or behavior. Let's look at a few simple examples. Imagine you come home and your shoes are in the middle of the floor. You think, I'll put them away later. But that takes only 10 seconds. If you use the 2-minute rule, you will say, this takes less than 2 minutes. I will do it now. And it's done. No stress, no mess. Here's another one. After dinner, your plate is on the table. Washing one plate takes less than 2 minutes. Instead of leaving it in the sink and thinking about it later, you can say, it's quick. I'll do it now. That small action makes your home cleaner, your mind calmer, and your future easier. Let's try an example with learning English. Maybe you want to improve your vocabulary. Instead of saying, I must study for 1 hour every day, you can say, I will learn just one new word right now. That takes less than 2 minutes. And again, after that one word, maybe you feel like learning 2 words. Or 5. That's how it begins. A small start becomes something bigger. You can also think of other examples like writing 1 sentence, doing 1 push-up, opening your notebook, or even just preparing your study space. All of these can be the first small step. They take very little time, but they help you move forward. And moving forward, even a little, is always better than standing still. So, to summarize this part, the 2-minute rule has 2 parts. First, if a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. Second, if you want to build a new habit, start with just the first 2 minutes. These ideas come from James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, and they work because they make action feel easy and stress-free. In the next part, we'll look at why this simple rule works so well. We'll also talk about how your brain responds to small actions and why starting is the most powerful step you can take. So stay with me. We're just getting started. Why the 2-minute rule works. Now that you understand what the 2-minute rule is, let's talk about something very important. Why it works so well. Why can doing something for just 2 minutes make such a big difference in your life? It sounds too simple, right? But it actually works because of how our brain works. Our brain is always trying to save energy. This is a natural thing. A long time ago, humans had to save energy to survive. Even today, your brain wants to choose the easiest way to do something. So, when your brain sees a big task, like cleaning your whole room, writing a long report, or studying for 2 hours, it says, this looks hard. Maybe later. And that's when procrastination begins. Procrastination means you wait too long to do something, even if it's important. You feel tired before you even start. The problem is not the task itself. The problem is how big the task feels. It's the feeling of doing something long or difficult that makes us want to avoid it. But here's the trick. If you make the task small, your brain doesn't get scared. It says, oh, that's easy. I can do that. And that's the power of small actions. They help you start. Starting is actually the most important part. Think about it. Once you begin something, it's often much easier to keep going. For example, maybe you don't want to exercise, but if you just put on your shoes and go outside, suddenly you feel more ready. You take a few steps, And then you say, okay, I'll walk for 5 minutes. And then maybe you walk for 10 or 20 minutes. But the key was not the walk. The key was putting on your shoes. That was the first step. This is the same idea with the 2-minute rule. It helps you take the first small step, and that small step often leads to the next step, and the next one. In the beginning, it may look like nothing, but over time it grows into something big. That's how real habits are built. Let's talk more about habits. A habit is something you do again and again, often without thinking. Brushing your teeth is a habit. Checking your phone is a habit. Drinking water in the morning might be a habit. Some habits are good, and some are not so good. But all habits begin the same way, with a small action that you repeat. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, says something very powerful. He says, all big things come from small beginnings. That means you don't need to do something big right away. You just need to start small and do it often. That's why the 2-minute rule works. It helps you start in a way that feels easy, not stressful. You don't wait for motivation. You don't wait for the perfect time. You just do a little thing. Right now. For example, if you want to learn English, don't wait for the weekend to study for 3 hours. That's too big. That's too far. Instead, use the 2-minute rule. Just open your textbook. Listen to one podcast episode. Learn one new word. Watch one short video. These are all small actions, but if you do them every day, they become a habit, and that habit helps you grow. Here's another way to think about it. Imagine you are planting a small seed. It's tiny. You put it in the ground. You water it. Nothing happens at first, but if you keep watering it every day, the seed starts to grow. Slowly, day by day, it becomes a plant. Then one day, it becomes a tree. Habits work the same way. You don't see results on day one, but if you keep going, something strong and powerful grows over time. The 2-minute rule also helps you build confidence. When you finish a small task, you feel good. You feel proud. That feeling tells your brain, I can do this. And the next time, it becomes even easier. That's how habits grow stronger. You start small, and you keep going. So remember this. Small actions lead to big results. The 2-minute rule works because it makes things feel simple, not scary. It helps you begin, and beginning is always better than doing nothing. Even if you only have 2 minutes today, that's okay. You are training your brain to take action. You are building the habit of starting. And once you start, anything is possible. In the next part, I'll show you 2 different ways you can use the 2-minute rule in your own life. Starting today. These are practical ideas you can try at home, at work, or in your English learning. So keep listening, and get ready to take your first small step. 2 ways to use the 2-minute rule. Now that you understand why the 2-minute rule works so well, let's look at how you can actually use it in your daily life. There are 2 main ways to use this rule, and both are very simple. These 2 methods can help you become more productive, feel more organized, and even build new habits over time. You don't need anything special, just 2 minutes and a little bit of attention. The first way to use the 2-minute rule is this. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. This method is great for small tasks that we often ignore. These are the little things we think we will do later, but then we forget. These small tasks usually do not take much time, But if we leave too many of them undone, they can build up and make our day feel heavy or stressful. For example, imagine you take off your clothes after work and drop them on the chair. You think, "I'll put them in the laundry later." But this task takes less than 2 minutes. If you do it right now, your space stays clean, and your mind feels lighter. Or maybe you get a short email from a friend or your teacher. It only needs a quick reply. Instead of waiting hours or days, you can just reply now. It's done. You don't have to think about it anymore. Another example could be washing your coffee cup. Instead of leaving it in the sink, wash it right away. It takes less than 2 minutes, and now you don't have to worry about it later. These small actions seem unimportant, but when you do them right away, your day becomes smoother, your space becomes tidier, and your mind becomes calmer. So remember, if something takes less than 2 minutes, just do it now. Don't wait. Don't overthink. Just take action. You'll feel better, and you'll have more mental space for bigger tasks. Now let's look at the second way to use the 2-minute rule. This method is a little different, but just as powerful. It's for starting new habits. And the rule is this: when you want to build a new habit, make the first step so easy that it only takes 2 minutes. This method is very helpful when you want to do something good for yourself, but you always feel too tired, too busy, or just not motivated. For example, let's say you want to start reading more books in English. That's a great goal, but it sounds big. Maybe you think, "I should read for 30 minutes every day." But when it's time to read, you feel lazy, or your mind says, "I'll do it tomorrow." That's normal. Our brains don't like big, difficult tasks. So instead, use the 2-minute rule. Tell yourself, "I will read for just 2 minutes. I will open the book and read 1 page." What happens next is very interesting. After reading 1 page, you may feel like reading 1 more. Then another. Suddenly, you're reading for 10 or 15 minutes. But even if you don't continue, that's okay. You still followed the rule. You still did something. You are building the habit of showing up. This trick works because it helps your brain get started. Starting is always the hardest part. After that, continuing becomes easier. That's why this method is so powerful. You're not trying to do something big. You're just showing up for 2 minutes. And when you do that again and again, it becomes a real habit. Let's look at a few more examples. Want to exercise more? Don't tell yourself, "I need to go to the gym for 1 hour." Instead, say, "I will do 1 push-up," or "I will stretch for 2 minutes." That's easy. You can do it. And often, after you begin, you feel like doing more. Want to write every day? Don't wait for a big idea. Just write 1 sentence. That's your 2-minute action. Want to improve your English vocabulary? Don't try to learn 50 words at once. Just learn 1 new word today. Use it in a sentence. That's enough. The key is not to focus on how much you do. The key is to focus on building the habit of starting. 2 minutes may feel small, but it helps you train your brain. You are teaching yourself that action is easy. And when action feels easy, you are more likely to repeat it. So now you know the 2 best ways to use the 2-minute rule. First, if a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it right now. Second, when you want to build a new habit, make the first step small. Just 2 minutes. These 2 simple ideas can change how you work, how you learn, and how you live. In the next part of the episode, I'll give you some real-life examples and situations where you can start using the 2-minute rule today. We'll talk about how you can use it at home, at work, and even in your English learning. So stay with me. The best part is coming next. Real-life examples and ideas. Now that you know what the 2-minute rule is and how it works, let's look at some real-life examples. These are everyday situations where you can use this rule right away. You don't need to change your whole routine. You don't need to be perfect. Just try using the 2-minute rule in small moments of your day, and you will see how it helps. Let's start with examples at home. These are some of the easiest ways to use the rule. Imagine you just finished eating and your plate is on the table. Washing one plate takes less than 2 minutes. Instead of leaving it in the sink, just wash it right away. It's done, and now your kitchen looks clean. Or think about your shoes after coming home. If you leave them in the middle of the room, it looks messy. But if you take 2 minutes to put them away, your home feels more organized. You can also make your bed in the morning. Again, less than 2 minutes. And it gives you a small feeling of success to start your day. You can also use the 2-minute rule in your work life. Many tasks at work seem small, but we delay them because we are busy or tired. For example, replying to a short email, sending a message to a coworker, or writing a quick reminder in your calendar. These things often take less than 2 minutes. If you do them immediately, you don't have to think about them later. Your to-do list becomes shorter, and you feel more in control. The more small tasks you finish, the more space you create in your day for important work. Now let's talk about how to use this rule for studying. Studying can often feel like a big task, and that's why we avoid it. But if you break it into very small actions, it becomes easier. For example, instead of saying, "I will study for 2 hours," just say, "I will open my notebook and review 1 page." That takes less than 2 minutes. Or you can prepare your study space. Clean your desk, take out your book, open your pen. All of this can be done in 2 minutes or less. Once you start, you may feel ready to do more. But even if you don't, you have done something, and that's already a success. Now let me give you one more example. This one is perfect for you, because you are learning English. The 2-minute rule works great for language learning. Maybe you don't always have time for a long English lesson. That's okay. You can do something small. You can open your favorite English app and learn 1 new word. You can listen to this podcast for just 2 minutes. You can write 1 sentence in your journal in English. You can even say 1 sentence out loud like, "Today is a sunny day," and practice your pronunciation. These small actions help your brain stay connected to English, and they build a daily habit over time. What's important is not how much you do. What matters is that you do something. That's the heart of the 2-minute rule. When you take small steps every day, you create momentum. Momentum means that one small action leads to the next, and then the next. Like a snowball rolling down a hill, it starts small, but it gets bigger and faster as it moves forward. So, what can you do today? Think about something simple. Is there a small task you've been avoiding? Maybe something you know will take just 2 minutes or even less? Or is there a habit you want to build, like reading, writing, exercising, or learning English? Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for motivation. Just take 1 small step. Right now. That's how it begins. The next time you think, "I don't feel like doing this," Just ask yourself, can I do it in 2 minutes? If the answer is yes, do it now. And if the task is big, ask yourself, what is the first 2-minute step I can take? Then, take that step. That's all you need to do. I encourage you to try the 2-minute rule today. Just once. Pick something small. Take action. You will see how good it feels. And tomorrow, try it again. Over time, these small actions will help you feel more focused, more organized, and more confident, both in your life and in your English. How it will change your life. So now, let's talk about the big question. How can such a small rule actually change your life? It may seem hard to believe at first. After all, 2 minutes is not a long time. But the truth is, when you use the 2-minute rule again and again, it starts to create a real change. That's because the most powerful results in life don't usually come from big one-time actions. They come from small actions that you do again and again. That's called consistency. Doing something regularly, even if it's just a little bit. Think about brushing your teeth. It only takes 2 minutes. But you do it every day, right? Because of that small daily action, your teeth stay healthy. That's the power of consistency. The 2-minute rule helps you build more of these small, healthy routines in your life. You start to clean more often, write more, move your body more, or practice your English more. All because you take small steps without stress or pressure. This rule also helps with something we all struggle with: procrastination. That's when we delay things, even if we know we should do them. Procrastination makes us feel guilty, lazy, and sometimes even stressed. But when you tell yourself, I'll just do 2 minutes, you give your brain a reason to start. And when you start, the task feels easier. Most of the time, you will do more than 2 minutes. But even if you stop, you have already done something. And doing something is always better than doing nothing. The 2-minute rule also helps when you don't feel motivated. Many people wait for the perfect mood, the perfect time, or the perfect energy to begin a task. But motivation is not always there. Some days you feel lazy, some days you feel busy. But the rule gives you a simple way to act, even without motivation. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to do something big. You just need to do something small, right now. Over time, this helps you build discipline, which is the ability to do something even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is stronger than motivation, and it grows with small actions. And when you do these small things again and again, your life becomes more organized. Your room is cleaner. Your work is more complete. Your goals feel closer. You don't have to carry so many small tasks in your head. This gives you more peace of mind. You feel more in control. And you don't feel so overwhelmed by everything you need to do. Many people say they feel less stress and more calm after using the 2-minute rule for just 1 week. Also, this rule is so flexible. You can use it for almost anything. You can use it to build habits, like reading, meditating, or exercising. You can use it to break bad habits, like leaving dishes in the sink or wasting time on your phone. You can even use it to improve your relationships. For example, taking 2 minutes to send a kind message to someone, or to give your full attention during a short conversation. Small things, when done with care, can have a big impact on your life and the lives of others. Most importantly, the 2-minute rule teaches you something powerful: that you don't have to do everything at once. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to wait for a special day. You just need to start. That's the real secret. Starting is what leads to progress, and progress, even slow progress, will take you further than waiting for the perfect time. So yes, this small, simple rule can really change your life. Not in one day, not in one week, but slowly, quietly, and surely. Every time you follow it, you become a little more focused, a little more organized, and a little more confident. And those little changes add up. Over time, they become the life you want. Benefits you will see. So now you know what the 2-minute rule is, how it works, and how to use it. But let's take a moment to talk about something very important. What will happen when you actually start using it? What are the benefits? What will you feel or see in your life if you begin using the 2-minute rule every day? The first thing you will notice is that you feel less stress. Many people feel stressed because they have so many small tasks in their mind. Maybe there are dishes to wash, clothes to fold, messages to answer, or notes to review. When we delay these small tasks, they don't disappear. They stay in our brain. We keep thinking about them. This can make us feel tired, even if we haven't done anything yet. But when you use the 2-minute rule, you stop this cycle. You handle those small things right away. One by one, they disappear. Your brain feels lighter. Your day feels calmer. Even your home or workspace looks more peaceful. You don't have to carry these little to-do items in your head all day, and that gives you a lot of relief. The second benefit is that you get more things done. Many people think that to be productive, they need to do big things. But in real life, it's the small tasks that pile up. When you complete them quickly, you make real progress. You start checking things off your list. You feel more active and in control of your time. Even better, you don't waste time thinking or worrying about them. You just do them. These small wins give you energy to do more. It's like cleaning a small corner of your room. Once it's clean, you want to clean the next part. So little by little, your productivity grows. You may even surprise yourself at how much you can do when you simply begin with 2 minutes. The third benefit is that you start to build better habits. This is one of the biggest reasons why the 2-minute rule is so powerful. When you do something small every day, it becomes part of your routine. It becomes automatic, something you do without thinking too much. And when something becomes a habit, it's easier to continue. You don't need to push yourself all the time. For example, if you practice English for just 2 minutes every day, it becomes normal. Soon, you will find that you're practicing for 5, 10, or 15 minutes, not because you have to, but because it feels natural. The same thing can happen with reading, writing, exercise, cooking healthy meals, or anything else you want to do. The habit starts small, but it grows over time, just like a plant growing from a tiny seed. And finally, the 2-minute rule helps you feel more confident. Confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from taking small actions again and again. Each time you follow the rule, each time you complete a task or start a habit, you prove to yourself that you can take control of your day. You feel proud. You feel strong. You feel capable. This helps you believe in yourself more, not just in work or study, but in all areas of your life. You learn to trust your ability to take action, even when you feel tired, busy, or unmotivated. And that feeling, that quiet, personal confidence, can change everything. So let's take a quick look again at the benefits. You feel less stress because you stop carrying small tasks in your mind. You get more done because you stop waiting and start acting. You build better habits because you repeat small actions every day. And you feel more confident because you see yourself taking real steps toward your goals. These are simple changes, but they have a big effect. And the best part is, you don't need to wait. You can start seeing these benefits today. All it takes is 2 minutes. Tips to practice the 2-minute rule every day. Now that you understand the 2-minute rule and the benefits it brings, you might be wondering, how can I make sure I use this rule every day? How can you turn this idea into a habit that really helps you in your life? The good news is, there are some simple tips you can follow to practice the 2-minute rule every day and make it part of your routine. The first tip is to start with one task. Don't try to change everything at once. It is better to pick just one small thing to practice the rule on. For example, you can choose to wash one dish right after you eat, or to read one page of an English book every day. When you focus on only one task, it is easier to remember and easier to do. When that task becomes a habit, you can add a new one. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. The important part is to start small and be consistent. The second tip is to set a timer for 2 minutes. Sometimes when we say, just 2 minutes, we don't really know when 2 minutes have passed. Using a timer helps you keep track and makes the rule real. You can use the timer on your phone, watch, or even a kitchen timer. When you start a task, set the timer for 2 minutes and tell yourself, I will do this until the timer rings. This simple step helps you focus and prevents you from stopping too soon. You may find that once the timer rings, you want to continue the task. Or sometimes you might stop. And that is okay too, because you have already followed the 2-minute rule. The third tip is to keep a habit tracker. A habit tracker is a simple way to see your progress. It can be a notebook, a calendar, or an app on your phone. Each day you follow the 2-minute rule, you put a check mark or a sticker on your tracker. This helps you see how many days in a row you have practiced your new habit. When you see the chain of days growing longer, you feel motivated to keep going. It feels good to know you are making progress, and this visual reminder can stop you from forgetting or giving up. If you don't have a habit tracker yet, I encourage you to try one. It makes a big difference. The last tip is to don't break the chain. This means, once you start using the 2-minute rule every day, try to keep going without missing a day. The longer your chain of days, the stronger your habit becomes. If one day you miss, don't worry or feel bad. Just start again the next day and build a new chain. The idea is to keep your practice consistent over time. This tip is connected to the habit tracker because the tracker shows your chain. When you see it, you don't want to break it. This simple idea of not breaking the chain can keep you motivated and focused. These 4 tips, starting with one task, setting a timer, keeping a habit tracker, and not breaking the chain, can help you use the 2-minute rule every day. They make practicing this rule easier and more fun. And when you practice regularly, you will start to feel the benefits we talked about earlier: less stress, more productivity, better habits, and more confidence. Remember, the 2-minute rule is about progress, not perfection. It's okay if some days you only do the 2 minutes and no more. It's okay if you forget one day. What matters most is that you keep trying and keep coming back to the rule. Each small action adds up over time and helps you build a better life and better English skills. So, why not start today? Pick one small task you want to do. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Do the task. Put a check mark on your tracker. And keep the chain going. You will surprise yourself with how much you can do with just 2 minutes. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this podcast. Now, before we finish, I want to share some important thoughts with you. Sometimes, when we want to change our habits or do something new, we think we need to do big and hard things. But this is not true. Small steps are very powerful. Even a little action can make a big difference in your life. This is why the 2-minute rule works so well. When you do something small for just 2 minutes, you start a chain of good habits. This small start is the key to success. So, always remember, small steps matter. They are the first step to reaching your goals. I want to encourage you to try the 2-minute rule today. You do not need to wait for tomorrow or next week. Start right now. Look around you and find one task that you can do in 2 minutes. It can be cleaning your desk, reading one page of a book, or stretching your body. It does not need to be perfect or complete. The goal is just to begin. When you start small, you feel good. You feel proud. This feeling will help you keep going and do more. You will see that starting is the hardest part, but when you take the first step, everything becomes easier. So, make a promise to yourself to use the 2-minute rule every day, starting today. Remember, life is not about doing everything at once. It is about doing a little bit every day. If you do 2 minutes today, 2 minutes tomorrow, and 2 minutes the next day, you will build a strong habit. Over time, these small moments add up to big results. Your small steps will lead you to your goals. It could be learning English, cleaning your room, exercising, or any other task you want to do. The 2-minute rule helps you avoid feeling tired or overwhelmed because you only do a tiny part at first. This makes everything easier and more enjoyable. So, be kind to yourself. Take small steps and celebrate each one. Each step is a success. To finish, I want to leave you with a simple but powerful idea. Small steps lead to big changes. This means every little action you take moves you closer to a better life. You are not alone in this. Many people start small and grow every day. You can do the same. You have the power to change your habits and your life with just 2 minutes. Believe in yourself and start today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you tried the 2-minute rule. Remember, big journeys begin with small steps. Keep going, and you will see wonderful changes soon.